believe it started. Oh well. Let's get to it then, I suppose. Let's see here. We're gonna start with expert, because that sounds fun. I think this is probably the hardest one to do, especially for a map like this. We're gonna just go with that, I think. So, the beginning here is real simple. I don't really know if there's any better way to do it on expert, but the movements are very wide and far-reaching. So what I think I'm going to do is keep the same movements, but make the hits a little bit, requiring less range, I guess. That's the best way to describe it. So, like for example, let's make it so that this hit is a little more in reach, but keeps the same rough movement. And like this one here, that's a little far-reaching. We can kind of make it a bit simpler to read here. Nope, that's a bad idea. Well, actually, this is kind of difficult now that I've messed it up. Tell you what, let's just give up on that specific crossover. That should be better. I just don't want to risk of hitting the red with the blue saber. We'll stick with that. I think it's slow enough that expert can take care of it. And the next pattern, that should be good. This one here though is I think the hardest one. I love this kind of crossover. Having the red go under and the blue go above, and then have to make a movement after that. I think it's great. But for expert, I do want to dial it down a bit. Although I don't know how I'm going to do that exactly. I could just go with something basic. I think that would get the idea across, I think. Maybe we can raise this up to make it a little more exciting. Hi, Hilaire. I can't wait for people to play it. That looks awkward, but I think since it's expert, I'm just gonna play dummy mode here. If ever in doubt, play dummy mode. Dummies are fine too. So I want the right saber to end up on the right side of the map, right here. So if I send this one down. And then to the right. Oh yeah, that's perfect. I don't think that duck needs taken out. Expert's fine that way. So this is where it gets rough though. I wouldn't really consider this expert plus material. So I think I'm going to leave most of this identical in expert. I don't really know. Notes per second's at 4.4. I do have to cut quite a bit out. I might shorten this a little bit. Just to give them a little bit of breathing room so they can see what's coming up ahead rather than focus on what's right in front of them. This part, I don't have to make doubles. I think it'll be good just like that, actually. We can take these out just so they can focus on the build-up rather than the sheer note density. This part is intentionally supposed to be hard. It's supposed to build up here. As long as they don't fail if they're... But because of everything back here, the whole point of this section was to teach them that really basic movement. It's not that crazy. And so by the time they get here, it's a movement they've done like 16 times by now. So they shouldn't have an issue doing this that consistently. If they do, well then they kind of deserve to fail, because you don't really want to be that merciful and expert. And that stream right there, although it's a surprise, since everything else is familiar to them, that'll be the only thing they're looking at, because that is the only pattern they haven't recognized yet. And it's a basic stream. If they've played expert, they're probably used to basic streams. So this should be perfect for expert, because this teaches them the movement with very little extra fluff. By the time it gets here, it speeds up, and the only thing unfamiliar is this part right here, and then these funky blue things. So I think, at least for expert, I'm going to get rid of the vision blocking wall. And I'm going to kind of reduce the diagonals just to make this... They're already going to be on their heels from this. Probably not dead, but on their heels. So then this next pattern, I don't want them to be confused at what this is. So I want to make this as simple as possible for them right here, without really reducing the movement. That's going to be hard to do. I don't like using a face block there, though. I could just use... That should be fine. I got rid of the diagonals. I made sure to use just two directions. But they're pretty much the same movements, a little bit less intricate, but it'll still get the exact same feeling, so when they move to Expert Plus, that won't be something surprising. It's still pretty much the same kind of movements. Just less interesting. But that's kind of what you want to do. You don't want to overwhelm them visually. You just want to give them the same feeling so that when they go to Expert Plus, it'll carry over, I guess. And this chorus really isn't that hard, honestly. I'm not really proud of the chorus, but I've messed with it so many times and I can't figure it out. So it'll keep the exact same movements. Not much is going to change. I think I can make this a little bit simpler. We're just going to follow that synth, I can't really point it out, but you'll kind of hear it when I make it. Red stays down. It's pretty basic, but the goal is that these movements actually shift physically their body left to right. So this part forces their body to move left, this forces their body to move right. So at this point, they should be standing roughly in lane 2, so this wouldn't be that big of a deal for a face block. That's why I'm using face blocks. I don't mind it. Now these parts are the only ones that get kind of confusing. It's not that far out of expert territory, but I do want to simplify it a little bit. I already simplified it for the expert plus even. Shoot. I don't really want to cut it in half, but I might have to. That'll be hard to get down. I want to keep this right here. That's crucial, but these I think I can cut in half. It kind of gives them a little bit of time to see what's coming up, because I want them to get this perfectly. And if they're too busy messing up here, they're not going to get this part perfectly. And this part's important because it's really critical to the flow of the song, I think. I don't know what to do here. Yeah, I'm blanking at this part. I might just make it more consistent. No, I always make things too hard. If ever in doubt, make it easier. I could do a slide, maybe? I don't like slides though. I think that'll work. It's on beat, and it's not that distracting. I think these diagonals might be overkill, though. too hard. I'm just going to leave it like that. We're going to say that's good. That part is a little complicated. I'm going to try to reduce the diagonals here just to make the visual impression a little bit easier for him. The best I can do anyway. I'll make this alone. I'll make this the same as before so they're familiar with it. It's a lot of blue, though. Just make a nice simple red pattern. Make sure it ends down so they can go up here. Little basic, but I think it'll still get the point across. I want them more to enjoy the song so that when they get to Expert Plus, most of it is learned and the rest of it will be surprising. But I don't want to go too ham on Expert. Now this part can be improved. Yeah, we can make that way easier. This makes it more visually acceptable. I need a better word for that. Easier to read at a glance. They're not overly confused. It's still to the beat, and it makes it sound like you're still playing those drums. Just not exactly. And we can just make this a basic stream. Starting with up, of course, because it's more fun that way. Woohoo! We can kind of make it a little bit more entertaining. Actually, that might be too much. Let's just stick to the basics. Don't want to go too crazy now. Listen here, Squeaksy. Don't you badmouth my mapping. I'm not good at this, okay? I'm not as wizardry as you are. I have to... see, all the maps I made using the standards that I followed ended up being way too hard, and I thought I was like, oh, I'm being nice and easy. I wanted to kind of challenge them, but I really greatly overestimated how much I was challenging them. Underestimated? I miscalculated how much I was challenging them. So now if I'm ever in doubt, I'm just gonna slide on the easy side. I don't want people to give up on my map. I want them to feel this is too easy, so they go to the next difficulty. I'm hoping I'm doing that with this. they're like, oh, these streams are boring. Good. Then play Expert Plus. Now these, I don't know if these are going to be good for Expert. At least not this part. It's a fun crossover, but it's probably... I'm probably better off just making it... I'm kind of afraid of doing a far crossover like that, because if they miss that one block, the rest of it's going to be confusing to them. So how can I resolve this? That's a cop-out if I ever heard one. I don't want to jump them too far back. If I could just leave blue over there the whole time, that'd be better. Oh, totally. That works. We'll go with that. That should be pretty natural, and their right arm will be all ready for the 104 frame. We're just gonna make this back to a normal stream. I'm not that big of a fan of not leading blue well enough here, but there's 2 frames to make up for it. They should be fine. I can simplify that for sure. Let's kind of make this similar to what we did earlier. So it's the same muscle memory. If I refer to foreshadowing, it's kind of like this kind of thing here, where you give them one weird movement. It's not even that weird, but for Expert, we're going to call it weird. And then you repeat the exact same thing later on, so that they're not... It's not that they'd be confused, but their brain will focus far too hard on patterns they've not seen before. So if this is something they've seen before, the same movements, then they can just let their left arm do their thing, while the right arm is what they're actually focusing on if it's new. That didn't make any sense at all, but the TLDR is I like to reuse movements I've used before, so I can focus the attention of the player on something new, rather than learning too fast, I guess. I doubt that even is a thing. So I think that works pretty well. I could probably actually just do that. I want to keep these 2 streams here, and in order to do that I have to make sure the right hand is down, no, up. both of them go up. Well, that's an easy solution. I can take out that movement. That should work pretty well. Both arms will go up, and it's not that bad. I don't know if I should do gallops. No. I think I should trust an expert player to be able to do 1/4 streams with the most basic visual complexities possible. I'm gonna trust them. Now this stuff will confuse me though. I want to keep this and that, which means I have to end with the arms up at the end of this stream. I'll just go basic again. Oh. We'll just I like the feeling. Alright, we're just gonna stick here then. I really want to keep this specific hit right here. It's important. Oh, maybe I shouldn't start on red here? That would be a bad idea. That'll do. That's pretty simplified comparatively. I'm still doing absolutely nothing for the notes per second. In fact, I'm gonna actually just do this. We're gonna add some flair here for no reason whatsoever. That should be readable. Unique enough. It doesn't really reflect what happens in Expert Plus, but that doesn't really matter because that part is so weird. I can't fully reflect it, but I did have some top notes and such. Close enough, and it cuts the notes there in half. I need to get this notes per second down, and I'm going to have a hard time doing that. We're going to make this reflect what happened earlier. No changes. This part, let's see if I can recall how I did that. All hail the broken bookmark bug, where bookmarks stop working and they all go back to frame 293, no matter what. That's okay. Where was I? I cannot wait for Mark 4. Actually, where was I? Yeah, like right here. Funky Course doesn't start here.
Squeak, what happened to my game?
Well, I never trust the bookmarks. They, after like 5 minutes of mapping, they just do that. I kind of gave up. I might. Yeah, I'm just gonna go back and clone what I did earlier. Okay. I don't want to make him too frustrated. Now this part's going to be hard. I think for expert I'm actually going to slim the walls down. No, I shouldn't do that. I should just make it simpler. This part has a lot of crossovers, and it changes up a lot. I like it a lot. But we're gonna... That's okay, Squeaks. It used to work just fine. I think I messed something up. It like worked 100% for all my maps. And then something I did with this map in particular, they've been doing that. And I think it was related to the fact that I tried to do some weird like syncing stuff through OneDrive, and they like backed up mid-map. I think I messed it up. We're just gonna blame me. I do modify. I do all the time. Oh. I like change. You're a smart one. I guess that makes sense. Interesting. You know, that would do it. I wonder if I bring it back to 200 flat, will all the bookmarks just magically start working? Oh! I'm retarded. Oh, that's the R word. I'm very dumb. Huh, look at that. It's magic. Haha, look at that. Good to know. Well, let's go back there, now that I know that's the problem. Yeah, funky course doesn't start there. Stupid bookmark. Alright, well, thank you. Let's see. It's Ozarath. Hi. For this, I think I'm going to try to focus more on just the doubles and the diagonals and kind of give up on the crossovers. I want that to be the surprise for Expert Plus. So any crossover I'm going to try to eliminate. But the fun part about this is that it alternates like the up and down doubles to the single up doubles. And then up and down, and then down down. Then up and down. Well, then here it changes up a little bit. I kind of forget what I did here. It's kind of crazy. I don't really know totally what I'm doing, but we're going to find out. You know, actually, since I need to cut down notes, I'm probably just going to cut out the... I'm just going to cut out every other one. I'll have to improvise a little bit. But improvising is fun. So I'm still going to give them the idea of where they have to step back and forth and do various different hand motions, which is actually that's all of Beat Saber, but ignore that. I might add some funky stuff later on, but we're just going to see where that leads me. I want to keep this because that's emphasized. It's the new measure, and I want that to be, like, I want that to be a changing note, which is nice because being able to throw that in will let me, like, mix up the hits a little bit, because you can't really do much with this kind of stuff. I want this to be a chill-out section, where they don't really have to focus that hard. It's just more, like, fun, and they can kind of reflect on the chorus. Process it, if you will. And the more fun I let them have here, the more fun they're going to think the chorus was earlier. Probably. I don't really know, but I like to go with that. It makes me sound smart. Well, that's not even the funky chorus. That's the thing. I stretched it out. The funky chorus is like, I don't know. I think funky chorus is up here. Yeah, this is funky chorus. But, spoilers. Oops, wrong button. Also, this is a plug for my Logitech G502 with the infinite scroll wheel. It's crucial to mapping. If you don't have one, you can't map. You shouldn't have a blue name in the Discord if you don't have one of these mice. Alright, that's all. Paid in full by Logitech. What can I do here that isn't super confusing? I can probably just stick to, like, one-armed crossovers here. The right arm is going to go up, which is good. That means it's ready for that hit over there. I'm going to repeat each motion for one whole measure. Squeaks is the official spokesman for Logitech.
I'm sorry. Please don't ban me.
Oh, so yeah, in this one, Mstrad, I've got, since this whole song is a collection of, actually, I'm gonna just show you real quick here. We're gonna go to, I said experienced mapper, Alzaraf, get with the times. We're gonna go to my flower map, since the whole thing is choruses. Oh! I don't have it. Well, you'll just have to believe me. But the whole thing was basically like funky chorus, pretty chorus, synth chorus, guitar chorus, piano chorus. The whole thing was just a bunch of different choruses. It was a weird map. I had some funny names in there, I just kind of forget them. Where was I? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna keep the same ID here, but then just kind of like... Oh yeah, the mapping Discord. Sorry, Alzaref, but the modding Discord is a little... a little too... It's too busy. I get stressed. Lots of people. I poke in there and see you guys talking, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have to do anything, thank goodness. It's too stressful. Too many people. The moment I start talking or answering questions, it just doesn't stop for like 3 hours. I can't stop it once I start. I'm going to keep the long crossovers here. It's really, really simple, and I've already telegraphed it. This kind of gets them going. They're getting like the mindset of at least what to expect here. And then these introduce just the fact that, hey, there's crossovers, by the way. They're really simple. So they get into the motion. I do it for a whole measure so they can't mess up. If they do mess up, they'll get it. And then here, I'm going to start actually moving around with the crossovers and making them a little bit more interesting so they have to pay more attention. I don't want to do it all at once. I don't want to do doubles quite yet. The whole point of that Discord is to make lowly beginners become lowly I don't have a pun. I couldn't think of a pun. I tried. I might try to start doing doubles here, actually. After one whole measure of this. Yeah, we're gonna stick with that. So both arms are down here. I want to make this complicated, but the problem is if I make this too complicated, then this part here, they'll be so focused on learning the new pattern at this section, they might mess up here, and I want them to be in prime condition for what's coming up next. So I'm gonna keep it simple this whole time. This is the relaxy taxi. Enjoy the ride. Okay, so both arms are down. I don't need that anymore. Yes, those are face blocks, but I'm going to imply the person stands in row 2. If they don't figure that out or slide their head to the left, they're going to have a bad time. Oh, no, this is the face block Red mentioned. Never mind. We're going to change this. Okay. The wall and the face block should imply more heavily they need to lean to the right here. Not that it really matters. I think I'm going to cut all these streams into 1/2s instead of 1/4 because I need to cut down on the notes per second. And this is my last chance to do it. And I want them to enjoy this section more than get frustrated with it. Can you go from a sideways to a down angle like that? For this one, I actually really like that because if they see it coming, their left arm is gonna slash down from above, and then you kind of like loop it around and then flick left. So you're not actually like reversing the direction of your arm. You kind of like swing it or loop it around. like a jump rope, or trying to think of another example, but you don't really swing sabers around very often in real life. But the motion here specifically, from this one to that one, their arm will kind of go that way and then curl back around and then finish down. It's kind of a fun motion. I do it a lot toward the beginning as well, and it got really good reception, and I think it's pretty fun. But it's especially when things are this slow and clearly laid out, then it can work pretty well. But it's not the most... It's not a very direct approach, so if there's like high note density, then there's a chance it could... I don't know the fancy term for when a red saber hits a blue saber. But like if I had like funky stuff going on like here or something, then that wouldn't be good at all, because the red saber would have to move up into the path of the blue. But if everything is clear and the right arm is currently down, then this is a pretty... They see it coming, and it makes a lot of sense to move your arm through, because it will follow all the way through, and then loop back around to head down, because it doesn't stop right there. The arm doesn't stop here. The arm is going to follow through all the way, hopefully. And then once you follow through, that's enough momentum to move around back rather than having to stop. Yes, the thing I was saying up here, Altaref, that would cause controller clash or at least severe discomfort. That's a bad example, but the right arm's staying down the whole time. That's out of the way. So I can move the left arm willy-nilly and be totally good. In fact, I could get away with this, and it would still work, but it wouldn't be as comfortable. I like this better. And then once it hits down here, it'll loop back up and around to that one over there. It's a pretty... I like the flow that this specific pattern here, like not even a pattern, this specific movement, I love that. It's like a figure eight. So it goes right up and then down left, and then it does that kind of thing. It's super adorable. And earlier on, this section... Oh, never mind. This is the Expert version. The Expert Plus is something fun. But I guess you'll just have to find out when you play my song. Now, the right arm doesn't exactly flow into this one, but there's enough frames. I'm going to demand a reset. If they don't figure that out, that's okay. Consider this stream here like just telling them, hey, reset, please. Now this, I need to lower this down a little bit. I think I might just do half speed crossovers. And then I'm going to change the height of them so that they lean. Here they're kind of leaning to the left a little bit. My mom is pretty cute. She's great. She has a video on YouTube teaching me how to make white chili. It's great. I'll share it with you all at request. Bombs wouldn't be... a bad idea at all, actually. Oh, did I just put a light over here? No, okay. Well, the problem with that is that in the process of raising their arms over the bombs that they see coming, they might put their right arm in front of the path of the red, because I want them to raise the right arm like right after this hit. And the bombs, if they see it too early with nothing else going on, they might preemptively raise their arms when they shouldn't. So it's a good idea, but I don't know if it'll work exactly here. But I think At least in playtest, this gave enough time to show them, oh, my right arm needs to go up to hit this block. If I have confidence in their abilities at this point. After 5 frames, this is okay. And it's not even that much of a reset because this arm went left. So I'm blues on top here to kind of make them lean left because the right shoulder has to raise for it. For this hit specifically. So for this next one, I'm going to actually change it up. How can I do that without controller clash? Let's see here. Like this. You're not wrong, for sure. What I could do is force them to raise their arms. Well, I like to keep that. The goal is that I'm trying to choreograph them crossing the arms the whole time. Because if you cross your arms, you look like a really sexy 90s pop star. And I want you to feel like that in this particular moment. You're going to feel like a sexy, who was a pop star in the 90s? NSYNC? I don't know. Backstreet Boys? Whatever. You're going to feel sexy. This hit. Boom. Sexy. And then here, I'm not sexy anymore. But that's okay. Because up here, sexy again. Boom. Bombs on a hit are awful, and I disagree with those. Totally. Like, for example, if there were bombs here, that's a no-no. Because I want them to reach their arm from way down below up to hit that. At this point, their arms are going to be crossed, so the left arm is going to dip down before slashing upward, and the right arm is going to fall down to get out of the way. But I don't think I can make this perfect. What are the tilde and dots? What is that doing? Colon and semicolon? What does that do? It made me pick a wall? I didn't know it did that. Whatever. We're gonna go ahead and keep this. I think it's okay. I think I can make this better though. Oh, I see. I need to cross them here. No, not like that. That's terrible. Nope, that's awful. That's fine, we'll do it this way. Yeah, that'll be okay. The one high red hit an uncrossed double. Need to uncross the arms after the red hit, so maybe a bomb on the right side of the second red hit. This hit specifically was supposed to uncross their arms. This crosses them At this point, they're looking at what's ahead because these have jumped in already. When they see the blue note and this, their left arm is going to swing up to this. At about the same time, their brain is telling them to raise their right arm for the blue. So the simple act of the blue note there jumping in, hopefully, at least it was in testing, enough that their right arm just begins to raise naturally. Forcing it to raise might distract them from the stream coming up. But I think the fact that there's nothing jumping in except that stream is enough to raise their right arm. I'm going to hope for that. Hope for that. And I'd like this to be a bombless section just because I think the bombs jumping in will force too much attention on them. And I think it'll passively imply the right arm raising and uncrossing. Because when you cross your arms, your left arm is currently over the right at this point, and this kind of unties them, freeing up your right arm's motion entirely. So at this point, you're currently staring at the stream ahead of you, and that should let you raise your right arm and move it down. That said, I might be trying to overestimating a typical expert player's ability to read what's coming up on ahead. Maybe this single diagonal block is too much for them. That sounded mean, but really. Hi, Helen. I will sit on this. I'll contemplate this. I'll note it. I'll write it down. This part here, the right shoulder is above here, and at this point, it switches to the right shoulder being below, so the left hand can go above. And in this specific pattern, the red alone should... I need to make them dip the left shoulder down. Without crossing. You know, it worked fine in Expert Plus. We're going to keep it. I really wanted to do this. But actually, you know, I might keep that. I know it's taboo, but I think it works here. I want it to not... I don't want it to feel like you're hitting like a double down, but tilt to the side. I want you to actually slash to the side with both arms. I think I'm going to keep that. Actually, I need to make a note to make that in the Expert Plus version as well. Let me get my sticky note app up. Where are my sticky notes? There it is. Frame 181. Reverse colors. Okay. Boom. Making progress. Notes per second down to 4. I think we can do it. We're going to cut this one in half again, but we're going to change the pattern up a little bit to make it different from the first one. This bar is the bane of my existence. Oh, that's what they were saying. You can change the sensitivity. Oh, that's so cool. All right. I just realized what was I'm choking on my surprise. I realized what this was a problem earlier. Because on Expert Plus, this pattern starts with a blue up. It doesn't start with a blue down. That's different. I wondered why it wasn't adding up. Right, because in Expert Plus... Well, does it say it anywhere? Let me see here. Oh god, there's so many things. Shift middle mouse. Wait, that's quick delete? What does that do? I don't actually want to know. I don't want to delete anything. I'm kind of scared. But how is deleting not quick already? Do you like drag over it? No. I don't know the difference between delete and quick delete. Shift tab. Mouse wheel. Control mouse wheel. I would assume it'd be right there. Alt scroll wheel. Huh. That's okay. I don't... Listen here, Squeaks. Don't make fun of me. If you hit the middle mouse, it deletes something, but what does even quick delete do? I can't figure it out in testing. Okay, without quick delete, boom. Wait! It changed... I'm genuinely retarded. Okay. I get it. Don't make fun of me anymore, please. We're gonna move on. That doesn't telegraph blue very well, but that's okay. It's expert. So for this here, all these new controls are very strange. I'm getting used to it. I'm just so used to hitting 5 all the time. It feels good. I don't want to like, I don't know, like, boom, deleted, and then back to 1. It's almost like the same amount of buttons. I don't know. I just like the normal delete. It feels powerful, intentional. Like you're fired. Oh, you're fired. You have to make so much intentionality to switch over to the delete mode. It's like you're giving those deleted blocks extra attention, making them feel valued. But that's fine. How can I make this different? We're gonna do something a bit weird. Shoot, blue doesn't start up. I'm confusing myself here. I think it'll work. Yeah, that should work. We're gonna force the left hand a little more to that way. Since the blue can be seen as like the first note coming, that should raise their right hand up. This will get the left hand out of the way. And then the rest of the stream is history. And then at this point, this brings the left hand to the left, which is good, and then they should have enough time to read this next hit coming. And then we're gonna do the same thing we did before, and just make this baby crossovers. Oh, but it doesn't end uncrossed now. Maybe I should... Yeah, we're just gonna end with a final cross over like this. Get them out of the way. Helen, I hope you like it. And it's a really good introduction to the Expert Plus version, which hopefully you'll be able to get to at some point. I think it's a lot of fun. The deleted blocks are no longer... Yes. I use 1 and 2 for red and blue all the time. But I know some people who only use like the middle mouse. They just leave it on 1 or 2. The NJS, I have it like... Actually, I haven't really decided for this one. I think it's going to be at 16 or 17. I don't really know. Probably 17. With an offset. I'll give it like one offset at 16 or 17. I don't really use the calculator, so I just kind of wing it. But I always get it wrong in that case. So we're going to have to work on that. Show NJ, how do I do that? Do I just go back? Boom. 19. Whoops. 16. 17. Boom. Yeah, that's all for now. I think I'll do 17 plus 1. Like plus 1 offset at the end of it all. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm no good at that. I forget what I did for this part in the beginning. But I think I'm just going to improvise because I think the player has gotten used to it by now. Oh yeah, I remember this. I think I'll just start right there. Give him a break. I'm gonna go... Actually... Yeah, I'm gonna mimic the first part and cut off that first note. Oh, I forgot about this. We're just gonna do the simple. Did I even address that in the first one? Oh, I did. I remember that now. Yeah, I think I'll hook up my Vive and play around in practice mode to figure out if I got the NGS right for all of them before I release it. But I'm also really lazy and I don't have my Vive set up, so I might just wing it. I don't think NGS is really that much of a difficulty spike, and except for the spawn distance. That's what's really killer. I could get to higher speeds when I was learning, but it was when higher speeds introduced a closer spawn distance. It blew my mind. I couldn't do it. It was too hard. But I'm also terrible at the game, so there's that. I think that might be awkward. That might be a little bit better. Yeah, I think that feels better. After I flailed around for a bit like an idiot. Get rid of those little blocks to help with the notes per second and just to give them less to worry about. At this point, they know what's coming. They've been here before. But that's the whole point. That's why this song is great. Because I like to mix it up. So that part right here that I just played, that'll be probably the toughest part to get right. But we're going to try. All the hits become opposites rather than... is there a term for like when you go down, down, and then up, up? As opposed to like these here where one's down, one's up. And the next one's... Like what do you call these? Reverse doubles? Opposite doubles? Like what is that compared to these? Like what is this compared to... this? Is there a term for that? You're all smart, you can figure it out. Let's just... I'm gonna keep that. But I'm gonna make this simpler. I think I might actually do... Is this illegal? That might be too much for expert. You know, if I have to ask that, then it's too much for expert. I need to lead the right hand up and the left hand down with this. I don't know how I'm going to do that very well. That's not comfortable. Might just leave the right hand up like that. And then do the rest with red. How can I get red downward in 3 hits now? I want to get the jumps out, but I want this part to be really easy compared to what's coming up next. And I don't want to jump too much in expert. But you might be right. That's jumpy enough. I want to reduce the diagonals, but I'm also lazy. I don't know if this is too much for expert. Even those hits are kind of simple, but I'll make them simpler for the sake of this map. We'll go mid lane there. Oh, nope, that's a collision waiting to happen. Guess there's a reason I did that. That's a double up. How'd that get in there? How did I... Do I have a double up? In my Expert Plus as well? What is this? Frame 234? I need to make a note. 234... Double up? Question mark? 3 times? There we go. What do people... Okay, so jumps... I had to ask this too, because I couldn't really figure it out. Let's go to a blank spot in the map. So, here is an example of, like... I don't know, one-handed stream. But what a jump would be... It's just when you have to, like, move a lot. Like, these would be considered jumps. It just means your hand jumps around a lot. Usually, like, one hand, you can do two-handed jumps, but that can get kind of complicated. And flow is kind of hard to keep, and also arm collision's a big deal. I mean, this is like an easy jump, but it can get pretty complicated. But when people say like, "Oh, look at the jumps," they're referring to notes that are like that kind of. Sort of. I'm no good at it. Squeaks is the one to ask. He's good at it. I added the double up. I really did. Am I stupid? Oh well. I'll fix it. How did I miss that in Expert Plus? I guess that's true. Squeaks doesn't jump as much. He's just better with like patterns that look like jumps but aren't jumps. I don't know the word for that. Fun patterns that aren't streams or doubles. I think I got this wrong in Expert Plus. I have to review that. 236. Because that doesn't... I don't know why I left that. Why, thank you, Hilaire. I do love this part. I wanted to make sure... Like, the chaos that's that is... What's the word? My thesaurus is breaking. Wait, which part, Hilaire? The part that I should keep an expert? Have I taken anything out? If anything, I'm adding more in, because I think I left stuff out in the Expert Plus version. Yeah, I think I left like a half double up. I think I had like, I think it was doing something like this in the Expert Plus version. And those shouldn't be there like that. It should be this. Anti-streams? I like that. I need to make a note to review my Expert Plus after this. 230, 236. Oh, totally. I'm keeping this the same for sure. I changed this part here a little bit, but honestly, I think I'm gonna take Expert Plus and make it this instead, because that's better. It's not my most proudest pattern right there. I could probably make it better in Expert Plus, so I'm just gonna make a note to review this whole section and kind of make it better, just spice it up a little bit. Frame 235, big spice, checkup, period. Okay. Now I don't want them to fail here. They probably will, so I need to make this like dummy simple. No, I want to keep it roughly the same as Expert Plus. Ooh, that's a deadly arm collision right there. Let's leave red up. I have to do a 50 BPM change here from 130. It was complicated. And I tried to do streaming flashes here with no offs in between. And I don't know if it reflects very well in the actual game. But it kind of gives the effect. I thought it was a cool effect. But no one will ever notice. That's okay. And from here, I think it's just copy paste from here on out. Oh, I messed up. This is different than before, I forgot. We're going to cut this in half to help with the notes per second, which I am doing better on. My lighting is hyper simple. I really just went for simplicity over anything else. With this song specifically, I made the outer ring and the back lasers focus on strictly the percussion. The lasers, by back lasers I mean like the rail lasers and the ring are like strictly percussion, snare, kick. The lasers are almost strictly the synth that you play along to, because those are the things that change the most visually in the background, and I want those to be in time with the slashes to make it feel more cool. And then I use the back lasers, it kind of like toggles between percussion and other crap. I kind of just like wing it. The little bass thing in there. I made sure to turn them red for that little like bass, like the slap bass triplet or whatever, to kind of add emphasis. Oh, the 50-130? Yeah, totally. It was just, what did I do here? Yeah, they're all just flashes. I literally just like strobe flashes. I think I set the laser speeds to max and I just strobe flashes. I don't know if that like pulsating was your band. I don't know if that pulsating really gets translated into the game. I hope it does. But since you're kind of crouching in a tunnel, you don't see it that much anyway, which was kind of the point. I didn't want to put anything terribly fancy there because you're probably confused and crouching in a tunnel, and that's not the greatest time to show off your lights. So we need to fix this section, and then it's oh, then the fun part comes. Gonna trim the notes down a little bit. This is gonna be hard to replicate the way I want to. Wait, no it isn't. Well, okay, yeah it is, but that's fine. I'm gonna kind of add something new here that I haven't done before. That's an odd crossover, but at least it makes it fail-proof. They shouldn't be able to fail here if they mess up. The difficulty reducer in Mark IV. That would be cool. I'd love to see what you keep talking about. Also, thank you, Amstrad. I love that sexy lighting. It's like the only good lighting I have in the whole map. But I think it's neat. I like it. It's really subtle. I don't usually like mixing red and blue together, but I only do it if I have to emphasize something really unique in that moment. But I honestly think the red and blue together, when they're shown at the same time, it looks like vomit. So this part, I'll have to slow down a lot. I have to make it unique each time too, because I do some weird stuff up here. So I might do gallops? I don't know. It's hard. I think I'm going to do gallops. I learned these from the flower map. Chicken nuggets? I want chicken nuggets. Hidden thing? That'd be neat. And I think, yeah, if it like suggests or implies but doesn't just do it for you, that might help with it. This is my worst map in terms of block placement variety. I think Where Am I had like 15% top notes, and Helix had something around that. But this is by far my worst. I don't like maps. As much as I love Alto's maps, I'm not good at them because the repeated top to bottom, which he loves so much, I don't like personally, and it's really hard for me to play. So I try to avoid that. I use top specifically to move the arms in better positions for stuff in the middle and bottom row. That said, second map. This is my fourth map, Squeaks. I'm offended. I'm not even gonna talk anymore. Oh, that's not gonna work at all. I can't do triplets like that. We're gonna stick with that. Oh, okay. I'm not offended anymore, Squeaks. You're fine. You're unbanned. Is there an unban command? Hang on, unban. There we go. This stream delay is huge. I can tell from the video. We're gonna do some baby gallops. Oh. Starting with red because it's weird, and in weird sections you do weird things. Right, middle, left, middle, that'll work. Yeah, that's good, I think. I don't really know. Oh, but I can't... Maybe I should just... This should... That's enough time to go between them. And that should be enough to go... Get ready for the crossover. I feel bad that I have to cut out that entire section just to make that one like, not crossover, but this one pattern work. But I think it'll feel good. And once again, we're going to cut all this in half. Oops. Yeah, that carries over pretty well. Ooh, I wonder if I can do a gallop with... Oh, I'm gonna be... Ooh, I wish I could do this in my Expert Plus too. I'm gonna be funky here. Squeaks, I think the limitation is you being happy with volunteer devs. You'd probably hate all of them. Well, also the fact that no one's volunteering, but that's also a thing. Yeah, I called it. I don't know how I want to do this. Oh, yeah, I do. This will probably make them fail. I don't know if I should do this, but I'm going to see what it looks like. It's a gallop with a inverse double. I don't know if this is good enough, or I don't know if this is... You know what? Golden rule. If I have to ask, it's too hard. So what do I want to do instead then? Do I want to keep the gallops? Because I already foreshadowed it. It's going to have to happen. But how can I make gallops more interesting? Ooh. Easy. Well, maybe not easy for them. You had a partner? Oh. I see. Interesting. That'd be cool. I wish I knew any programmers. I think I can keep this in the Expert Plus version. It's not. I'm not even that proud of this specific pattern here. I was just kind of lazy and out of time. But I'm going to keep it. I think it's nice and weird. It kind of fits the theme. And I like putting high notes to absurdly squeaky notes. Or high blocks. This part here isn't that complicated at all. I think we're good. Boom. That's the hardest one. Run some error checkers. Uh-oh, error's already found. Wait, where did I go? Where is it? Originally, the entire song was actually like this. All of these were up here. This was the whole song. But I did not like how it felt. It did not feel fluid. It did not feel like the dance that I wanted. And this feels a lot better. I want the emphasis to be on the diagonal ones, and I want your body to feel that. But when they were up here, the emphasis was on that. And then it just felt awkward. It didn't have the resolve that I wanted. Resolution that I wanted. I don't know. But I will make an exception for this. "15 vision blocking errors." Here we go. Oh yeah, all these count. I forgot. That's better. That's okay. That's a vision block? Oh. That makes sense. That'll do. I got to 3.75. That's good enough. I'm happy. I'm going to hit the save button before I get banned, and we're going to go to hard. This should speed up from now on. That's the most work I've had to do for an expert song in my entire career of making 3 maps. Hard is fun. I have to remember my own notes for this. I want to keep it really simple, but because it's so slow, I want them to at least get used to the fact that this part is going to have very weird motions. For hard, I'm going to try to make it as weird as possible without making it out of their element. But because it's so slow, this is the prime time to teach them really weird new movements you'll never see otherwise in hard mode. That's why in Expert Plus it was hyper uncomfortable if you didn't really trust the flow, because I'm trying to push, because of how slow this part is, I'm trying to push the limits for that specific difficulty. don't know if I can... Don't know how this is going to work. I think this note here is messing me up, actually. Maybe I should cut it all out. No, I have no reason to. I should keep it. I'm just kind of simplifying any kind of visual changes I can find without changing the physical motions that much. Keeping blocks in the same line like up here just helps them pre-plan what their left arm is going to do before they have to actually do it. Probably. Who the hell knows?
What am I saying?
Cut that one out entirely and just make it do like a... I don't like that. I'm gonna change the length of this so they just duck right there. That way they don't have to worry about it too much. I'll give him one diagonal too. Boom! I'm gonna really throw it at him. That right there. Take a look at that diagonal though. Ooh, that's not what I wanted to do. All right, I'm gonna stop being funny. Actually, that's a good idea. Why don't I put more of those in the beginning? Because it's so slow. There we go. Stuff like that. I'm going to teach them diagonals early. Perfect. I like that a lot better. Mariel Warnock. Yes. You can play it tonight. I'm finishing up as fast as I can. So for the chorus, it'll be pretty copy and paste, look like before, but I'm going to try to keep a similar note density. That's not true. I'm going to wing it and stop talking. I have no plan. Oh, it's Alan. I think I'm streaming as the real me too. I don't even know. Probably. I see my real name, so it must be on there. I don't care. No one can even pronounce my last name. Doesn't matter. And literally every single male on the planet has my first name. So I'm just kind of keeping the same theme here. I'm just really getting rid of any kind of note that might make them confused at all. I'm prioritizing note density over complexity here. So I'm trying to keep the same amount of notes in this section while retaining or making it as like unconfusing as possible. I don't know how I'm going to handle that here, though. Squeaks, you're banned again. Here, watch. I don't know if this is actually going to ban. No. There we go. That'll work. If you get banned and unbanned 3 times, though, then that's an actual ban, and I might have to capitalize it. I have an idea for what to do here, I think. I think I'm just gonna go nuts. I don't know how to do the chorus. I might just do one-handed, actually. I don't know what to do here. Tell you what. Golden rule number 2. Delete everything and start fresh for four beats. Okay, I have an idea. That might be a bit better. Maybe that'll make it better. I don't know how well that motion's gonna feel, though. Maybe if I do, like, sideways? Ah, that might be too difficult. I don't know. Tell you what, I'll save the sideways for something crazy later on. I'll just get them used to something super simple, really easy first. I'm going to kind of replace any kind of complicated sections like that with like these outside notes, because outside notes feel really cool when you're playing on hard and you think like a badass, or you feel like a badass. You might think like one too. I don't really know. I can't speak for that. I'm not certified to tell you how you think or how badass or your thoughts are. Badass your thoughts are, not badassery. I'm kind of just opting for more dance feels for these sections because they hear the beat, they feel the beat, they're going to be bobbing their head to the beat. So if you ever don't know what to do, just put blocks where they're bobbing their head. And if you don't know what to do, delete it and then bob your head to the music, and then boom, you got yourself at least the rhythm of your pattern. Now just pick directions that fit the bill. Don't do this kind of crap for hard. Although that is kind of a cool idea. I might reuse that later on. What even is hard difficulty? Hard difficulty is, it's the half-ass difficulty. It's like expert but not, but normal but not. You see, I should write a guide that just says that. A big Google Doc that just has those words in it. I'm kind of not doing what I said in hard, where you leave breaks for them, and I'm instead opting for just an extremely simple to read, consistent pattern. So instead of giving them breaks for complicated stuff, I'm eliminating the complicated stuff for now, and just giving them something really simple that they can really get into. If they fail and can't pick themselves up during this part, I don't know why they're playing hard in the first place. This should at least teach them how to consistently recover from mistakes, which is important because later on I'm going to use this exact same pattern but then add some changes. So I'm kind of getting them numb to this kind of pattern. So later on when I make changes, they're only going to really notice those changes, hopefully. That's assuming they haven't failed by then. But I mean, what fun is a difficult song if you're not going to have a risk of failing? One minute. Wait, are you mapping something, Alza? Oh, nice. I don't want to end up there. That should be pretty good. Bye, Hilaire. Thanks for watching. I'd like to. It really helps me focus as well, because I never really sit down and take the time to do this. And I enjoy trying to explain what I'm thinking, because it also helps me realize when I'm being really stupid. But yeah, bye. Go to bed. Be very quiet. I'm sticking to the basics here again, just making sure it's super simple. I might actually do this kind of thing. No, I'm gonna solve the simple. Almost there. Maybe I can introduce him to a stream here. This is pretty hard pretty consistently. But whoever said I was any good at this? At the very least, if they can do this, then they're on a really, really good track for playing expert. This part's going to be a little bit harder to map. I'm going to try to keep the same feeling that I'm trying to convey. Just doesn't feel very original. Oh well. This is not enough of a break. This is breaking all the rules. feel bad, but this is just one of those. Ah, this is too hard. I'm going to introduce a little bit of crossover here, kind of. I'm just venturing blue to the left and red to the right. That'll be as confusing as it possibly will be for him. I need to end down. How do I do that? I'm starting with red because blue was the last note to be used, so their right hand will be a little busy. I'm going to throw back a diagonal here just to screw with them. Because this will go right back to the chorus they know and love. It'll get better. Don't roll your eyes at me. It's getting there. I think I'm making progress, maybe. I normally don't put this much attention to lower difficulty, but I want to make this one right. Same thing as before, but I'm adding left to right motion to make it a little harder for him, but it's the same pattern they've seen before. Now for the fun part. Now Squeak, see that you save that for easy, where you just make the entire map nothing but blue one direction double directionals. But no one will notice because it's so slow, and no one will play it. I could probably make like all of easy just a permanent crouch with like diagonal downs up in the top row, and nobody would report it because no one would play it. That's a dick move, by the way. Nobody ever do that. I'm totally gonna do it. I think I'm gonna keep the walls. I'm gonna shrink them for normal and easy, but for hard, I'm gonna keep them. I'm gonna lose that. I don't really want to, but I can't really figure out what else to do. Okay, I have a better idea. Is this illegal? Hang on. Why can't I? Oh, it is illegal. Hang on. Okay. Wait. You know what I'm going to do for hard? I'm going to have the wall spread. I can't move walls. How do you quick delete again? Is it like shift middle? Oh, you know, that might actually be helpful. I'm so stupid. I did it. I'm so proud of myself. Oh no, what have I done? Alright, now that I got the walls right, I have a better idea for this. Part's pretty boring, I'm sorry. I want to mix it up here, but I can't figure out how. Pretty extreme movements for hard. But I trust them. Hopefully they can get that. I want to kind of keep that weird flourish there without making it too complicated. Yeah, it is. This is still hard. I'm about halfway through, I think. That might be too hard. There we go. What to do for this part? I think I might just make it like this. Whether or not that makes it easier or not, I don't know. Whether or not it's easy, it's very difficult to fail, and there's enough of a break afterward to recuperate. And if they do figure it out, it will very much help them learn streams later on. It's a teaching moment. The hard part is the stream starts on frame 168, but I'm only doing the second, third, and fourth hits of the stream. So blue will alternate once while red stays the same. They'll figure it out. I have faith in them. Now for crossovers, I really want to keep these for hard, but I'm going to lower the motions, I think. I think I might just focus on the left side, and I won't change the shoulder positions. I think that'll be pretty easy to get. But the thing is, if they fail, yeah, if they mess up the first couple, they might actually fail. That's the hard part. Maybe. How can I make this fail-proof? There, it's fail-proof. This might be hard. Ooh, I have an idea. It'll be hard, but I think they can do it. Nope, that's too close. I should just stick to the easy stuff. Not that it's that easy, but this is kind of the same as before, just a little different, just enough. I think they can hit that. Well, maybe not. Let's just go with something. There, whatever. Let's just do that. That'll force the right hand down and left will naturally reset. I didn't change scale, so bookmarks work. Pre-chorus 2. Let's go grab the pre-chorus 1. Head back to the other guy. We're going to stick with that cymbal hit and then wait out this first one. That one doesn't make any sense to the user. We'll give him a break. That hit is to nothing. I just realized that. There's a bass note. Maybe I should just make it to the clap? No, whatever, I'll keep it. It's groovy. Okay, time to reevaluate this whole section. I would like to keep these kind of things, but I don't know if I can do that well. You know, I might actually have to fail that. Oh, I know how to replicate it. There, it's perfect. Save and finish. This will be weird enough that I think it captures the effect, while still being possible and similar to the last chorus. Throwing some diagonals to freak him out. Delete the rest, because the game is easy. This is confusing, actually. I'm having trouble. The same chorus as before. Ah, what did I do? No. We're just gonna copy paste because I'm lazy. It's even called normal chorus again. I love bookmarks. We're not only adding diagonals, but we're putting them on the right side. I'm going to blow their minds. It's to gradually reflect the change in the song. And for this, I'm tempted just to go full dance. But it does go to gallops. That wouldn't be a very gradual increase in difficulty. But I already introduced gallop. Yeah, I'm gonna go full dance. far reaching for hard. It is a crazy part in the song, and it is pretty simple. I think it's great. Don't know how to make that work. Maybe I should just make these jumps. Yeah, we'll do jumps instead. That'll teach them long range without crossovers. Oh, quote, jumps. Hopefully they keep their right arm up. Even if not, they'll have enough time to see it coming. Hey, I'm not doing too bad. We'll check double directionals later and I'll
Cry.
Yeah, I'm gonna go full dance here too. I don't really want to, but can't think of anything else to do that's better. My favorite pattern, here it comes. This will probably confuse him. In general, if they mess up the first one because they don't figure out it's reversed, they'll mess up every other one as well. But I want to be challenging. And this hit prepares him for it. In fact, we'll do that just to make him extra prepared. Like, if they don't figure it out from here to there, I'm sorry. The left to right might be overkill, but it's fun. I have faith. Should I make those dots, maybe? Is that doable? Is this illegal? Is this bannable? I mean, the sword's long enough. It is hard, and it is like the finale of the most complicated section. I think I'm just going to leave it. Let's go back to the basics here. Let's just kind of start fresh. They just had a rough time. Boom, hard's done. 2.4. Given the complexity and the speed, that's okay to me. Uh-oh. Oh, that's an oversight. Yep. How do I resolve that? I think I can, well, maybe I don't. Maybe it's okay just to leave it down. They'll see that in time. Tell you what. There, no excuses now. Why does it keep doing that? Whenever I scroll, it goes to the last BPM change. only if I scroll backwards. Oh. Now it's not. Ha. I can type that up better later on, Squeaks, but it seems that if the error finder finds a thing that is behind a BPM change and I jump to it, boink. If I try to scroll backwards towards the BPM change, yoink, it, oh, BPM change is broke. Okay, so I see. That shouldn't, I see. I'll stop toying with it. Okie doke. Funky business. Bookmarks and BPM changes galore. Oh, it's all just... That's okay. They're going to be standing in that lane anyway. Cool. Boom. Hard done. Time for normal. This is taking a lot more time than I thought, actually. For normal, I'm just going to make it as super basic as possible, I think. Really easy to telegraph doubles here. I don't want it to be too easy for them because of how slow it is. I think I'll leave the diagonal in there too, just for fun. They'll figure it out. Now this part. I might actually give up on trying the second hit. Let me think here for a second. I think only for this section I'll add it in. Maybe I'll like slide it around to make them think that it's changing, but it's really not. Just a little bit of variety to throw in there. I think for this part I'm just going to go full dance. Because it's just too fast of a rhythm to map to normal, but it's too slow if I just like half it. And it still sounds pretty good because you're hitting to the clap. Oop. I think I'm going to keep these doubles. I think I'm also going to make this just full dance. Forget the rhythm, or forget the lead. I have an idea for it though. I want to give him a break on the fourth hit, but I also want to vary left and right hands, as well as like follow this little synth thing that happens right here. Perfect. Maybe I should start on the down. Yeah, I think I should. The walls here just to kind of emphasize how the music like quiets. To kind of give you like a more tight feel, claustrophobic almost. It's Samurai Dogi. Thank you for thinking it is cool. It is a lot of block and a lot of music. It's bluesic. Block. I'm done. I'm gonna try to introduce like the quick stream there, but I'm gonna give him a break. I'm also gonna start with right. I heard whoever made the 2D editor also made this 3D editor, and I'm really excited to see the 4D editor. I don't know what to do with this part. I don't want to reset, but I might have to. I think I can get away with this. Go play some Beat Saber. Okay. Good luck with the Beat Saber. Have fun. Play my maps. Like Flower Mountain, it's really good. Shameless plug. Oh, you know what? I could map to that synth in the background. Change of plans. I'm just gonna put a duck in here for no reason. Quack. It's a pun. Help, I can't stop. I'm gonna focus on this here. Give him a break before it starts. I'm gonna give up on the streams. I'll give him a baby stream. This is gonna be hard to map. Give up on all of that. Forget foreshadowing, my dudes. I can't do it. We're just gonna have to figure it out. Boom, deleted. Gonna go back and take that chorus. Slurp it right up. Oh, I messed up. There we go. Boom. Copy paste. Ooh, eye tracker. My brother had an eye tracker for a bit and I played with it. It was a lot of fun. I played Rocket League with it to see where I was looking and it was very, very odd. I looked in so many weird places I did not think I looked.
If you know what I mean.
I might just copy paste the chorus here. That's fine. Oh, that's a no-no. Huh. Oh no. I copied too much. What have I done? Do you think this looks possible? Actually, it is technically, but I don't want to do it. This is good right here. Prime mapping. Someone take a screenshot and post this and just I want to clarify how beautiful this pattern is right here. This is the reason people start mapping, to come up with patterns like this right here. That's I'm going to cry. It's too good. Just get rid of all this crap. I messed up. am doing a double directional here because it's like 8 frames apart, and their left arm should reset by then. It's okay. Don't yell at me. I do want to keep that, but I think I'm instead just going to opt for the fact that the left hand is crossing over to the right in a very far angle, and that's going to be as extreme as normal is going to be. And for this, I'm just going to do a consistent 1-1 stream, I guess, just to not to increase note density or complexity, but to make them used to the fact that they're playing notes constantly and there's really no breaks. It'll be hyper simple, but I'm not really going to give them a break into like the wall sections. They're going to have to get used to that. Wait, these are all downs. Whoops. The poor man's crossovers right here. I'm trying to spice up these compared to the last one a little bit, if at all. Not that spice matters that much, but I'm just kind of changing the positions here and there, just so it doesn't feel like it's copy pasted. But in reality, I'm pretty much doing it. Throw in some diagonals to make it look fancy. Same thing, poor man's crossovers. This is pre-chorus 2, and since I forgot what I did, I'm just going to copy it. I made a mistake. Delete. I hit Control S, Control X, and Control Z all at the same time. That's like a worst case scenario. Okay. I want to make sure it's all good. I think it's okay. What are my numbers at here? I'm actually on target. I must be getting better when I map more and pay attention longer and learn. It's crazy. I think I copied it properly. I'm gonna do it again. Boom. I did it. Pre-course 2. This needs to feel different. That'll be good. I think this is the one time I'm gonna make him actually play to the synth, just to make it feel funky. Maybe not. That's too much. How do I do that? Maybe if you do like a half and half. Like half percussion, half synth, maybe? That might... it's a hard decision. I might just leave it, actually. Give some more breaks, maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it that way. Here's the normal chorus. Normal chorus, the first half. Uh-oh, I hear people in my house. Might have to go. Shoot, how do I do this? Can I like shift Oh, boom. Hotkeys for the win. Whoever developed this really knew what they were doing. Time for some jumps in normal. Shoot. Fellas, I'm gonna have to go. Thank you for watching. I hope you can enjoy the map tonight. I'll try to get it finished. Bye bye. Sorry for the abrupt end. I'll try to do this more though, it's kind of fun.